Welcome to Under the Rare Microscope, where we use our big brains and say, yeah, but what does science actually say about that? All right, we usually think of sex as permanent. You're born male or female, and then that's it, right? What if I told you that scientists have already found genes that can literally flip biological sex, not before birth, but after? And before you say, that sounds impossible, science has already proven it can happen. Not just in nature, but in controlled lab experiments, meaning this isn't just a theory. It's fact. I'd like you to meet FOXL2 and DMRT1. They're two genes that are basically the body's bouncers for sex. While FOXL2 keeps ovaries from turning into testes, DMRT1 does the opposite. It stops testes from turning into ovaries. Your body isn't just set and done. It is actively maintaining its sex all of the time, right now. And what happens if you turn off one of those genes? In a lab experiment, scientists switched off the FOXL2 gene in an adult female mouse. And guess what? Her ovaries started turning into testes. And they did the same thing with the DMRT1 gene, and a male mouse began developing ovarian structures. These were not embryos, these were fully grown adults. That proves that sex determination isn't just something that happens before birth. It's a constant process happening in your body right now. Now, I know some of you are thinking, we're not a frog, we're not a clownfish, we're not reptiles, and you're right. Humans aren't the same as those other species. But here's the thing. This isn't just about what's happening in the animal kingdom. It's about what's happening in us, in mammals, in species that share our genetic structures. So in another video, I told you about the spiny rat in Japan. I hope you'll go watch that. It's really interesting. They've lost their Y chromosome completely. But instead of going extinct, their bodies found another way to make males. And they're not alone. Other mammals, things way closer to us than a fish or an amphibian, have lost, gained, or completely reshuffled sex-determining genes. That is evolution. It doesn't need a Y chromosome to keep going. It just needs a system that works. And we already know in a human body has backup systems. You got the SOX9, the FOXL2, the DMRT1. These aren't just passive genes either. They're constantly making sure your body stays the way it is. So right now, humans don't naturally flip sex like some animals, but we're already finding genes that can turn ovaries into testes and vice versa. And scientists can already trigger these changes in a lab in fully grown adults. So what's stopping us from figuring out how to do it in humans? Could this mean future medical treatments for certain medical conditions? Could we one day control biological sex at a genetic level? Or is it possible that something even wilder is already happening inside of us and we just haven't discovered it yet? If you think that what we just talked about is shocking, you might not be ready for what's next. So, did you already know about these sex-switching genes, or did you just get another firmware update? Let's talk in the comments. I hope that you will support from the bottom up. I would love a like, a follow would be amazing, and as always, stay rare.